The nature of existence. So complex and profound. A mystery to unlock, but never to be found. We search for answers in the stars above, but the truth eludes us like a fleeting dove. Is it a dream, a figment of our minds? Or is it something more, a force we cannot find? We may never know the true nature of this thing, but we'll keep on searching for the answers it will bring. Hello there. The nature of reality is a fascinating and elusive concept. Many people have pondered the question of what reality truly is and how it relates to our own consciousness. Some argue that reality is simply a construct of our minds, a collection of perceptions and experiences that we use to make sense of the world around us. Others believe that reality is an objective external force, independent of our consciousness and perceptions. Still, others argue that reality is a combination of both, a complex and dynamic interplay between our subjective experiences and the objective world around us. Ultimately, the nature of reality remains a mystery, and one that may never be fully understood. That doesn't stop us from trying to unravel its secrets and discover its true nature. If the nature of reality is nothing more than a construction of our minds, it would imply that the world we know and experience is not an objective, external force, but rather a manifestation of our own consciousness. This idea, sometimes known as solipsism, suggests that the only thing we can truly be certain of is the existence of our own minds. In other words, reality itself may simply be a reflection of our own thoughts and experiences. Solipsism is a philosophical concept that suggests that the only thing that can be known to exist with certainty is one's own mind. It holds that the external world and other minds may not be real, and that the only thing that can be proven to exist is one's own consciousness. Some people find solipsism to be a deeply unsettling idea, as it implies that the world we know and experience may not be as real or objective as we think. However, others find solipsism to be a liberating concept, as it allows us to question the very nature of reality and explore new possibilities. Many philosophers have discussed the concept of solipsism, but one of the most well-known proponents of this idea was the French philosopher René Descartes. Descartes is famous for his philosophical statement cogito ergo sum, or I think, therefore I am, which was an attempt to demonstrate the existence of his own mind as the only certain thing in the world. He believed that, since the existence of his own mind was the only thing he could be certain of, it was the starting point for all philosophical inquiry. Otherwise, how can we be so sure that reality exists outside of us? It is difficult to be completely certain that reality exists outside of us because our understanding of reality is largely based on our own subjective experiences. However, the existence of an external reality is a widely accepted idea within the scientific community, and it is supported by a wealth of empirical evidence. For example, the laws of physics and the fundamental principles of mathematics are consistent across different cultures and times, suggesting that they are not simply products of our individual minds, but rather reflect the properties of an external reality. The fact that we can make predictions and test hypotheses about the world around us, and that these predictions and tests often yield consistent and reliable results, suggests that there is an objective reality that exists outside of us. Kant was a philosopher who lived in the 18th century, and his philosophy was focused on understanding the nature of human knowledge and experience. In his famous work Critique of Pure Reason, Kant argued that our knowledge of the world is not simply a passive reflection of an external reality, but rather is shaped and structured by the human mind. Kant also believed that there is an objective reality that exists independently of our minds, and that our knowledge and experience are limited by the structures and categories imposed by the human mind. So, while Kant's philosophy emphasized the role of the human mind in shaping our experience of reality, he also believed in the existence of an objective reality that exists outside of us. Kant did not attempt to prove that reality is objective, because he believed that this was a self-evident truth that could not be proven through logical argument. Instead, Kant's philosophy was focused on understanding the nature of human knowledge and experience, and on showing how the structures and categories imposed by the human mind shape and limit our knowledge of the world. At its most basic, reality is the world around us, the sum total of all things and events that exist, both physical and non-physical. But this simple definition belies the true complexity of the concept and raises many questions about the nature of reality and our relationship to it. Whether it is objective or subjective, reality is a fundamental part of our existence, and it shapes and defines our experiences and our understanding of the world around us. Whether we are conscious of it or not, reality is always present, always changing. And always challenging us to explore and understand it more deeply.